Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video we'll see about Flex in CSS. So to design a responsive website, we use Flex. Before getting into the video, if you're new to this channel, do subscribe, hit on the bell icon so whenever I upload a new video, you will get a notification on it. Also do follow me on my Instagram page. So this is my Instagram profile. If you have any doubts, you can just drop me a message there as well. So let's get into the video quickly. As you see, in last video we have seen about positions, and in this video we'll be seeing about Flex. Here I have a folder called Flexbox, and inside HTML I have a container which will act as a parent, and boxes. I have few boxes which is 1 to 8. You can have how many ever boxes you want. So I've taken 1 to 8. So this will act as a child, and I have my style.css. Okay, and then inside HTML I have linked my style.css. Okay, these are the only thing which I have done. So here what I'll do is I'll first add a border to the container and add a border to the boxes. Okay, so I'll say dot container. I will just give the height for container. I want the container to be around 400 pixel with the height, and I want a border for this container, so I'll give border 2 pixel solid black. Okay, so this is my containers background, and then you can see immediately I have installed the live server. Okay, and then for box what I'll do is I will tell border of 2 pixel. I will go with solid red. You can see we have got the solid red color for that, and let me give a margin for this. Let it take from all the side. Okay, so I'm letting it take from all the four side, which is top, left, bottom and right. As you have seen, the display position, I mean display properties. So we had inline block, and we had block. Inside display property is what we have flex. So we have to give display as flex. As soon as I gave the display as flex, it just changed the direction towards the row. Okay, it just aligned the items in a row. So this is what we called as flex direction. So flex direction is a property. So here we have flex direction, and by default it will be row. Okay, if I want to change it to the column, I will give column. Okay, now you can see it has aligned with the column. I have two more things here, that is column reverse and row reverse. When I give row reverse, you can see that it has reversed the item. It has starting from 87654. And when you give column reverse, you can see the item, I mean, sorry, column reverse, you can see that the item has reversed the column. So this is all about the flex direction. Okay, now let us give this as column. By default we'll give as row itself. Okay, this is all about the direction about flex. And one more thing to be note here is none of the flex properties will work if the display property is not mentioned as flex. Okay, so for example, if I comment out this will not work. I have given the flex direction to row, but you can see without giving that flex, it has aligned me the item in column. So this is all about it. Now you are able to see that whenever I string this, you can see that it is going out of container. I don't want this to happen. I wanted to align item according to the container. So what I have to do? So there is another property for this, which is flex wrap. Okay, flex wrap, by default we have no wrap, That is what we have seen there. When I give a wrap, just observe the difference, okay? When I try to string this, you can see the items is getting wrapped and it is coming below, okay? So this is the actual responsive website, okay? So this is how it has to behave. I hope you understood about wrap. And then we have another thing which is wrap reverse, and you can see that it will reverse the wrap from 8, it will go on top. Okay, this is all about wrap reverse. By default give wrap itself. And then the next thing that we are going to see is, let me remove the margin here. Okay, and you can see this is how it is looking. So for instead of giving margin, you have something called as gap. Okay, and then you tell 10 pixel. Okay, you get the gap here. So this gap is by default taking the row gap. Okay, so here instead of gap, this is a shortened property of row gap and column gap. So here you have row gap and you get 10 pixel. See the difference, what is happening? Nothing happened. When you shrink it, you will have gap in between rows. This is all about row gap. Okay, and then when you give column gap, which is called gap or column gap, and you give 10 pixel here, you can see now it has given the gap between the columns as well. Okay, so instead of these two, you can use gap. So similar way we have other property which is flex flow. So what I'll do is I'll tell flex flow. So even the flex flow is a shortened property of this flex direction and flex wrap. I'm just commenting this too. I will give here row and I want it to be wrapped. So that's it. It's just a shortened property of flex direction and flex wrap. And then you have something called justify content. Okay, so let us tell justify content. So this justify content will behave according to the main axis. So let me tell what the main axis and the cross axis is. The main axis is your horizontal and cross axis is going to be a vertical. So mainly this justify content is going to act according to your main axis. So here I will tell space around. Okay, I have given space around. So you can see it will take space and it will align accordingly. So it has given the space from left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, similar way we have space between. You can see difference how it behaves. You can see in between it, at the start it and at the end it has no space, but in between it has added the space. Okay, and you have space even, and you have flex start, and you can see how the flex start is working. So flex start, I've given flex and you can see it has gone, but when you give flex start it will again move to the starting position where it was there. Okay, so you can see it has moved. Then you have flex center as well, it will align the item to the center. So this is acting according to the main axis. Okay, and then if you want, and one more thing, if you would have noticed, the width of the box is not mentioned here, it has aligned accordingly. Okay, so what I will do here is I'll give align items and I'll tell it center. So when I give align item to the center, you can see the size of box is reduced. So this is because this align item property, this align item property was not being used and it occupied the full width. Okay, so that is, I mean, the full height. Now you can see that for this align item also you have flex start, flex, and you can see how it behaves. It behaves according to the main axis, so that is why it has gone down. Okay, flex end, and flex start will go on top. Okay, I hope we'll keep it in center. And then this is not about only this, but here you can see when you just shrink this, you have something called a space here. You can actually work on that as well. For that you have align content. So align content, you give center, and you can see that the space there is gone and it has aligned the content exactly to the center. And you can have the space around, space between, you can try everything. Space around, it is giving space. And then you have space between. um you can see, you can just check the difference, okay, between it at space. And you have flex start, flex end for this as well. Let me go with center for this as well for now. Okay, whatever we have seen now is for the parent, which is container. We will be seeing for the child, which is for boxes. For individual boxes you can give the styling. So for child, what we have done is I have described, I mean, I have given the individual name for each child, which is box 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first let's take box 1. Okay, so this child, let me tell that first property that we are going to tell is order. Okay, so by default the order is going to be 0. Okay, if you see, by default the order is 0. It is there itself. But what if I change the order to 1? You can see that all these 2 to 8 are 0, but box 1 is 1, so that is been come in front. So that is how the order is being divided. Now if I give for box 4, I'll give the order as 1. Now what will happen? Box 4 is still there. This is because if you have defined an order for any box, you have to give the greater order for another box that you are going to give. Okay, so now you can see that I've given pixel here. Okay, so you can see now 4 has also come behind. This is all about the ordering of boxes or something. And then the next property that we are going to see is about grow, flex grow. So what is this flex grow? So let us take this box 3 for that, and I will tell flex grow. I will give 0. Okay, it has not grown because the default property is 0. Then let me give 1. You can see flex 3 is larger than flex any other thing, but when you shrink it, it is getting shrinked, right? So for this we'll see. And then this is all about flex grow, and if you want the box 1 also to grow, I'll tell flex grow, flex grow, I'll give as 1. Now you can see box 1 and 4, I mean 3 has grown, and then you are able to shrink. But when you expand it, you can see that blocks 1 and 2, 3 is grown. And you have the other property, which is shrink. Okay, so what I'll do is I will give flex shrink for box 1. So by default it is going to be 1 for this, so you have to give 2 for this. Okay, so now when you see, and I will just take the flex grow of 1, commenting it. So when I start shrinking, you can see that flex, I mean, just observe box 1. Okay, what it is doing. 4, I will give, not box 4, box 5. I want it to shrink, so I'll just cut this, paste it here, and then you can see. Oh, for this wrap, I'll remove this wrap. Okay, and then you can see what is happening. Okay, it has grown, and you can see box 5 is getting shrinked along with the other boxes. And then you have the flex bases. So this flex bases will align item according to the main axis for the children. So here I will give flex bases, and I am going to tell flex shrink I have given. By default it is 1. Let me give 2. So when I shrink that, since see you can see that flex, or you are not able to see because I have not defined the width here. So what I will do is I will go define the width 100 pixel. Now you can see when I string this, flex 5 is getting stringed first. Okay, so this is how string works. Previously you might have not seen that. Okay, bases I've given 25 percentage for everything. Let me add a border box there. Okay, so give border box sizing. You're going to give border box. I will remove this group for box 1. And for this flux basis, I mean, instead of width I'm giving it here. Okay, so what happened is it has taken the complete width, and for box 5 it's shrinking. So let me comment this as well. Okay, now you can see that it has taken the width and I have removed no wrap. Okay, so the one more property, that the shortened property of flex order, I mean not order, grow, shrink and basis is only flex. So here imagine I am going to tell flex grow is 0, flex shrink is 0, but I want the basis to be 25 percentage. Okay, so now what will happen is I will just remove this from here or comment it. You can see only box 1 has been grown. Make this to column, and you can see the box 1. Okay, let it be row itself. What I am trying to tell is whenever I shrink, okay, I don't want that box 1 particular thing to shrink. So for that what I can do is I had forgotten that percentage, I mean semicolon. So you can see whenever I shrink, the other boxes are getting shrink, but box 1 is still the same. Okay, so this is what is the use of this flex for individual child. And okay, so we have seen about the flex, string, grow, everything. Now let's see about align self. Okay, so now I go here and I tell align self. So this align self, what it will do is, if you want to align item on basis of cross axis, you use align self. So here you have flex end, so I'm giving for box 1. So you can see that box 1 is moved here, and you can tell stretch here, so it will stretch. Okay, and you can see that box 1 is completely stretched. If you tell flex end and flex start, it will go on top. So this is how the child property is going to behave in flex. So that's it in this video, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any doubt or suggestion, do let me know in the comment section. Like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.